Internet, and welcome back to my series of film reviews. Last time we covered Ghostbusters Afterlife, and now we've made it to the latest entry in the Ghostbusters series, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is directed by Gil Kenan, famed director of Monster House and City of Ember. It follows the Spengler family as they leave Somerville, Oklahoma to go to New York to the iconic Ghostbusters firehouse. The Spengler family is helping out the Ghostbusters with new paranormal threats. But then, we see a new threat brewing in the form of an evil force unleashed from an ancient artifact. So the old Ghostbusters and the new Ghostbusters must band together to save the world from a second ice age. And no, I'm not talking about Ice Age of the Meltdown, or any of those movies for that matter. I mean, a Frozen Empire, like the title of the movie implies. Returning from Ghostbusters Afterlife are Carrie Coon as Egon's daughter Callie, Finn Wolfhard as Trevor, McKenna Grace as Phoebe, Logan Kim as Podcast, Celeste O'Connor as Lucky, and Paul Rudd as Gary Gruberson. Plus, we have returning cast members from the original Ghostbusters, including William Atherton as Walter Peck, and some new faces too, like Patton Oswalt and Kumail Nanjiani. It comes to no surprise that Ghostbusters Afterlife was a massive hit at the box office when it came out in 2021, so a sequel was in order. It was originally going to be directed by Jason Reitman, before Gil Kenan took over as director. Jason Reitman serves as writer and a producer for the film. This film celebrates the 40-year anniversary of the first Ghostbusters film from 1984, and it pays tribute to original Ghostbusters director Ivan Reitman, who passed away back in February of 2022. Now, when I hear the title Frozen Empire, I think of how Disney's Frozen took the world by storm, thus turning Disney into a Frozen Empire. Even appearing in Kingdom Hearts 3, as well as a bunch of short films, a 20-minute Christmas special that played before Coco, a Broadway production that I took the liberty of attending with my girlfriend in Boston, just a few days after we went to the Sonic Symphony at the Emerson Colonial Theater, where we got to meet our friend Rebelzilla 2020, and then of course we got Frozen 2. Alrighty then, now that I got that out of the way, let's begin with my thoughts on Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Now, unlike my reviews of the first 4 Ghostbusters films, including the reboot that doesn't exist, this review will be entirely spoiler-free. So anyway, sit back, relax, pour yourself an ecto-cooler, enjoy some s'mores with your Stay Puft marshmallows, as we explore my thoughts on Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Overall, I had a good time with this movie. However, I do have to say that the first half of this movie was kinda slow, and it didn't really go anywhere. Plus, we hardly get to see Peter Venkman in this movie. And apparently, Walter Peck is now the mayor of New York City. Like its predecessor, Ghostbusters Afterlife, there are callbacks to the original Ghostbusters, such as the library in which Peter, Ray, and Egon had their first ghost encounter. One of my main gripes is that there are too many damn characters who are either shoved to the sidelines or have next to no important roles when it comes to busting ghosts. But hey, it's nowhere near as bad as 2016 Ghostbusters. Between Afterlife and Frozen Empire, I would say that Afterlife is the superior sequel. This movie definitely had its moments, but all in all, I would say that it's inferior to its predecessor. I mean, there's one character who I'm not going to spoil here, who becomes a literal firebender, who uses firebending to bust ghosts. And the film's main antagonist was nowhere near as memorable as Gozer or the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. But it does have ice-based abilities like Elsa from Frozen, Iceman from X-Men, Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat, Grateful Buster from Fairy Tail, Mr. Freeze, Captain Cold, and even Frozone from The Incredibles. Also, Sigourney Weaver doesn't even make an appearance in this movie, and neither does an adult version of Oscar from Ghostbusters 2. And I'm not even surprised that Rick Moranis wasn't in this movie either. Walter Peck was more of an asshole here than in the original Ghostbusters, especially with the new generation of Ghostbusters. I'm giving Ghostbusters Frozen Empire a 5 out of 10. This movie was nowhere near as great as Ghostbusters Afterlife, or the original Ghostbusters, and it's not awful either, unlike the reboot that doesn't exist. There were too many characters who weren't given a whole lot to do, the humor was kinda hit or miss, and I didn't end up belly laughing at a good majority of the jokes. Although this movie did expand upon the lore of the Ghostbusters world, the original canon, not the fucking 2016 reboot that doesn't exist. Overall, I found Ghostbusters Frozen Empire to be very underwhelming. It was nice to see the old cast again, but they aren't given much to do. Bill Murray barely had any screen time here, and the newcomers didn't impress me all that much the way that Trevor, Phoebe, and Podcast did. Plus, one of them turned into a literal firebender right the fuck out of nowhere. I know, it's ridiculous, but anything could happen in a Ghostbusters movie. If you want to check this movie out, go right ahead. It's not going to leave you wanting to go to the bar in your bathrobe getting piss-ass drunk like I did when I had to torture myself with reviewing 2016 Ghostbusters. I thought this movie was harmless. Not a masterpiece, and not a disaster either. It was just harmless. I don't have much else to say about this movie. Now, if I were to rank all 5 Ghostbusters movies from best to worst, it would go the original Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters Afterlife, Ghostbusters 2, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and 2016 Ghostbusters. But what do you guys think? Have you, or are you planning on checking out Ghostbusters Frozen Empire? If so, what are your thoughts? Please keep it spoiler free on this video with your thoughts if you have seen it, but I'd like to know what you guys think. Stay tuned for my upcoming review of X2 X-Men United coming this April, as well as all other videos and projects coming soon. Until then, I'll see you all next time.